Hi everyone, behind me we have 3 items. We have 2 floors and 1 boat. Each of these items have holes in them. So in this video I'm going to show you how to find the holes and how to fix them. So both of these floors have a hole somewhere on them, as well as the pontoon. So what we're going to do is we're going to inflate them. We're going to find out where the holes are. We're going to take some vinyl cement and some patches, and we're gonna bring these guys back to life. So first things first, we're gonna need to pump up everything to find the holes. I'm gonna start off with the floors first. We're gonna start off with the most used one here in the middle, then we'll move over to the lesser used, and then finish with the harder subject, which is gonna be the boat. All right, so we're gonna be using the Mega Max power pump. This pump works really well. I use it a lot at home. Pumps everything up super quickly. However, it doesn't give a lot of hard PSI, so I use the battery powered pump to further fill it up when I get to the water. To travel with it inflated, I use this guy here at home. So let's go ahead and turn it on. Might be a little loud. Here we go. Just like that, completely filled up. Now to find a hole in your floor or pontoon, you're gonna wanna get yourself a bottle of soapy water. You're gonna go along the edges where the seams are, and you're gonna spray and check for leaking. Alrighty, so after spraying a little bit, we found our hole. When you spray the soapy water on, bubbles will come out, showing that you have a leak. All right, so we found our hole. Now that I know where the hole is, I'm gonna go ahead and take a Sharpie marker. I'm gonna mark that spot for later so we can fill it in. All right, this guy is done, so we're gonna go ahead and move on to the next floor. All right, same process as before. You're gonna fill up your floor. Well, for this one, I can already hear where the air is coming from. It's coming from underneath, so I'm gonna go ahead and flip it around. And we have a fun puncture where the valve is. Right here. So this should be an easy fix. We found our hole. I'm not gonna mark it with Sharpie as it's very obvious, so I know where to look. So we're done finding the hole on this floor. Let's move on to the pontoon. All right, just like the floor, we're gonna pump up the pontoon all the way to a firm PSI. We're gonna listen for if air is leaking, or we're gonna spray some soapy water around. And I already hear a hole, so I'm gonna go ahead and flip it over. And I have found it. It is right here. Right behind the back of the fin. Now, because this hole is right on the corner and it's a little pinhole, I think I'm just gonna use some Gorilla Super Glue to plug up the hole. Now, mind you, this dries rock hard, so it'll be very firm right here. I do not recommend you use this on a inner tube or anything else like that, because when you try to roll it up, it's gonna be like rolling up some wood. It's not gonna bend or flex. It's gonna stay in its solid form. But because it's a little hole right here, I'm gonna use it for this example and this example only. All right, here's our second floor. You can see where the valve has been pushed in very hard and it cut through the material. So we're gonna flip this over. We're gonna unscrew the valve. We're gonna fill it with glue, slap a patch on there, let it dry, flip it over, do the underside, and do the same thing. This is our tool. This is gonna help you unscrew the valve successfully. When you put this in, you're not gonna wanna just place it in and turn it down. You're gonna wanna put some force right on the top of it so you don't strip the plastic teeth. All right, so I have my valve loosener right here. We're gonna place it right in to where it clicks in, like so. Now when I turn, I'm not just gonna turn to the left like this, as it'll strip the inside. You're gonna wanna put some pressure right here, and then you're gonna go lefty-loosey, righty-tighty. So we're gonna go to the left. So there we go, it's loosened, and from here, you can just do it by your hand, and there we go. Pops out just like that. Now this bottom side here, we are gonna scoot to the side. As I'm gonna dab a little bit of glue on the inside here just to let it sit. Once it dries, I'm gonna move the valve back over, tighten everything down, and then I'm gonna slap on a patch on the other side. All right, we're gonna go ahead and let that dry and move on to the boat pontoon. All right, so for this hole here, to get ready for patching, we're gonna go ahead and take some rubbing alcohol and we're gonna pat it dry. Make sure that surface is nice and clean. What I'm gonna do, since we have some of the material sticking out almost like fiberglass, I'm gonna go ahead and dab a little bit of Gorilla Glue all around the side. I'm gonna let it dry so it covers the hole, and then I'm gonna go over and put the vinyl cement along it with a patch, and then we're gonna cover the sides so it doesn't peel when you're on the water going at full speeds. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and let everything else dry, and then we'll come back when it's time for step 2. We are back. It's been about an hour and a half later. It is still tacky, as you can see. So we're gonna take our patch here, we're gonna cut it to size, and then we're gonna slap it on there with some glue and then clamp it together. I'll cut this patch in half, but one side's gonna be a little smaller than the other. I'm gonna lay it down flat. I'm gonna cut the edges to round the corners, apply the glue, clamp it together with some vice clamps and some pieces of wood so everything is nice and flat. And then once that dries, I'm gonna add a thin layer of glue around the edge as it lays down. So that way when I'm on the water doesn't lift up the flap here and peel it off. It'll just go right over. All right, so this is just gonna lay down flat like that. We're gonna go ahead and round the edges so it doesn't peel up. All right, there we go, a wonky little oval. So we're gonna go ahead and get the glue out. We're gonna place it down just like so. I'm gonna compress it together with a vice clamp and 2 pieces of wood, both on each side. And then we're gonna let it dry overnight, and we're gonna come back to you the next day. We're gonna go ahead and open this up. Oh my word. There we go. And it's a nice clear liquid. So I'm gonna go ahead and spread some on the patch itself, trying to get all around, all corners. And then for here, it's a little wonky, but we're gonna paint up and down along the hole here. Nice thick coat right over it. We're gonna go ahead and flip it around carefully. Now I'm gonna take my pieces of wood, gonna slide one underneath, as that's where I'm gonna clamp down, and then take the other flat side and put it against it. We're gonna lift up so it becomes nice and flat. All right, so we're gonna let that sit for 24 hours, and then I'll see you tomorrow. All right, it is currently 10 p.m. The glue inside here has dried. We're gonna go ahead and move the valve back over, tighten everything down. We're gonna flip over the mat, apply some glue on the surface, and then apply the patch down, and I'll see you tomorrow morning. Alrighty, it is morning. We're gonna go ahead and remove everything, see how it turned out. All right, not bad, not bad. There's a little on the side, it's just peeled up just a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and add some glue all the way around. All right, so the hole's right here. We're gonna go ahead and spray it. Here's a better close-up on it. No bubbles are coming out. That hole is nice and fixed. So this patch here has been sitting for about 11 hours. We're gonna go ahead and unscrew it and see what it looks like. Moment of truth. Not bad, not bad. We're gonna go ahead and pump it up, see if anything leaks. If not, that means we did our job. And then after that, I'm gonna go ahead and just put some glue all around the side here, just like I did with the floor. That way, when we're driving at full speed, or the next owner is, this patch will not lift up, as the glue will cover the lift surface, and I'll just go right over. Here's our patch. We're gonna spray it off with some soapy water. And voila, no leaking. That is fully fixed. I'm gonna go ahead and wipe this off, and then we're gonna dab some glue all the way around, just so when you're driving at full speed, like I mentioned before, the water doesn't pick up the flap and rip it off. Which shouldn't happen anyways, but it just adds an extra layer of protection. And it's totally okay to give a generous amount. You don't want this patch coming off anytime soon. All right, this is the floor that had the hole on the other side of the valve. It is finished drying. We're gonna go ahead and turn it on, see how it holds. And there we go. I'm not seeing any holes. Nothing's leaking. So there we go. That's how you fix a hole in your floor underneath the valve. This floor here that we patched on the side, all nice and glued over. I can't peel up with my nail. Hole is nice and sealed. It's been sitting here for the past 5 hours and there is no indent. All right, just like the air floor, we put glue all over the patch here. I am unable to peel these up with my fingernail, so water should not be able to get through it either. It's not the prettiest, but this is gonna be on the bottom side, so you're not gonna have to look at it anyways. This boat is fixed and ready to get back out on the water. Alrighty, that wraps up the end of the video. For fixing holes, pretty simple. I would suggest you get some vinyl cement. You can use Gorilla Glue, but understand it dries hard, so that might break and crack when you roll up your boat and then your hole is exposed again. The patches you can get off Amazon, they come in different colors. They come in 6 pieces each bag. They're easy to cut. They're made of the same material. And when you apply patches to either your floor or the bottom of your boat, be sure to round the edges. I hope this video helped you learn something. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out.